Hello, my name is Jana Skokan. I'm the co-founder of Frogeex. I want to welcome you and thank you for joining our Frogeex YouTube channel today. If you like the content that we're sharing and the ideas that we're discussing, please like it, comment on it, and share it. And most importantly, come and join us on our live events. You have the opportunity to discuss with experts, exchange with like-minded people, and expand your perspectives all around topics related to sustainable building, sustainable living. And I also want to encourage you to click the little notification bell, subscribe to our channel, and never ever miss another episode of Frogeex Green Tech Talks in the future. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next one. Have a great day. Dialing in, so just a quick intro and an alignment with our guest today, with our key speaker, Mr. Dusan Fasung from Top Coatings company. Hello. Thank you very much, Dusan, for joining us today. We have 2 more minutes for the official start, so let's maybe take 2 more minutes, get your water, whatever, speakers up, whatever you can tune in or also watch. We have quite some slides included today, where are many cases, how you can utilize these coatings. Today, the discussion is around biocoatings or coatings for different surfaces, how to preserve and also ensure that the surfaces which we eventually use today for buildings or infrastructure elements or infrastructure buildings are preserved as long as possible. And of course, it's a big advantage when we talk about extreme weather conditions, just like water, humidity, or also heat. I mean, with climate change, we know that just the percentage and the exposure of first of all reoccurring or the occurrence of weather events is going to increase. So it's good to consider basically investing into making sure your house or the building, whether it's as mentioned, maybe a building or a structure element for more people, a multifunctional element or building that is as long, well maintained and conditioned as possible. And when we talk about also the intensity of weather events, we just know that in the context of climate change, this is also increasing. So there are more severe storms, which is also a little bit reflected in the quality of material that is being used for, building. So this is also a great element why we talk today. And what I was really where I got really interested around this topic was now we know a lot of the energy concepts are going to be changed, improved. We have a situation as what we have in the world today. And that, of course, brings up a strong pull towards more solar, more wind, etc. And this type of coatings can ensure that the solar panels, the solar panel elements are working longer without any damage, without reduced capacity that they produce of energy. So this is a quick intro on the topic itself. We have a sharp 11 o'clock. Welcome to the Frogeex Green Tech Talk today with Dusan Fasung on biocoatings, on top coatings. And as you heard, it's very much connected to sustainable building, sustainable living. And it's just in all our interest to ensure that all the buildings that we use now are also the materials used over there are as durable as possible, as well maintained as possible, and that we can also utilize them for long term. So with this, I would maybe quickly hand over to you, Dusan. Would you like to maybe say a few words about yourself? How long do you work in the industry? Just a very quick intro on you, and then we would just go into the presentation, if that is okay for you.
Hello everybody, my name is Dusan Fasung. I will precis my marketing name. It is Top Coatings Rotterdam. I live in Slovakia, but cooperate with some Dutch companies, also some Austrian, Swedish, but I make some composition of the coatings which can be used on the buildings and other surfaces. I am working since 2006 with the synthetic polymer, which were based for the stone care, interior and exterior. And during the time, I have a lot of experiences with this type, but I met 2013 one Dutch company, Nanotechnology, which was developing the special coatings for more surfaces like stone, wood, glass, metal, plastic, textiles, and also that we have some additives for the fuels that make lower consumption, and also reduce the COX and NOx from 25 to 50%. Yes, also we can save the average consumption for the fuel about 10%, which is also very actual in the situation, and it will be maybe much more worse than with the market. Still the new green energy will come so effective like others. I would like to continue with my slides. I will ask to Jana to give me the second slide. It is very interesting and it explains very much. Please, Jana, can you change the second slide?
Yes, we are on nanotechnology, the slide with the globe and the particles.
Yes. Can you put it?
Yes,
we are on it. We are on it. Okay, because I see it in the first line. Then you will continue and we will change it, because I don't have the change. I don't see the change.
Okay. So maybe I can ask Tada Lisika, or I'm not quite sure if I pronounced the name right. Do you eventually see all right the presentation, or are there any?
I see, but I have still the first
now I
slide.
can see it. It's been moved.
Oh, okay.
It's been moved to the second one.
Okay, thank you.
Super. And may I just quickly interrupt, Dusan? Always, let's please check that we have also live discussion. Tadalisika, if you would have any questions, would be also great if you can, just drop.
No problem. I am. If I will be understand, I am to your disposal.
I'm sure we're gonna manage.
We are here. Yes. This is the basic describing about our nanotechnology and how it works. We have some compare with the football match with the airs, and we are talking about the nanotechnologies. Nanotechnologies is all which is below 100 nanometers. On the left side, you see some molecule which is in the scale of 1 nanometers, and we are working with silicon particles which are only 3 nanometers. And if we comparing the other bioparticle, flu virus, bacteria, and blood cell, and other, it is the size scale is growing. Yes, and also, which is very important to know by the nanotechnology, there are also nanotubes, but we are working with the nanoparticles. We will explain later. Our nanoparticles, which are in the scale 3 times 3 nanometers, which is only 3 times bigger than the molecule, and the nanoparticles below 40 nanometers have ability to change the magnetic and electrical property on atom and molecular level. Yes, that means it is like two magnets with the same pole that is antistatic. Yes, and also our particles are binding with the molecules with the electron spin. There is no glue. Yes, and the nanoparticles create the nanogrid 3 times 3 nanometers. Therefore, where we can tell we are antivirus and antibacterial because they cannot go inside the surface and create their own colony. It doesn't matter if there is a humidity, no matter. And this is very important fact for other protection of the every surface. Yes, and wherever are the pores, we are at home because the pores are the base for creating some colonies, some sediments, dirty and calcification. It is too much influence from the space and atmospheric influence and others. Yes, that this position and this first line that we can change the magnetic and electrical properties on and molecular levels. It is not glue. Yes, it is electronic contents. Yes, binding, and therefore we have also the long-term duration of our coatings. Nanotechnology, if you can read the Biocoat products consists of the nanospheres. Yes, they are not dangerous to the health because nanospheres cannot attach the human tissue and leave the body again. But they've always been held, and I told before about the nanotubes, which can be captured inside the human body, such as asbestos, carbon, and PTFA, PFOA, Teflon, and it is accumulating in the body, and therefore they can change our health. Please, these small slides more quickly, because we can read it, but if there will be some questions, it is useful. Nanotechnology is useful in this time. In a lot of products we use daily in our houses and in our industry. Then I will not too much to explain. If you can see it and read it. Okay. Please continue.
Good. Just let me know on which part we stop. We can anyhow share it after the call with the audience, so people can review the different applications. Just yes. let me know which products or which parts would you like to
we start here before.
Perfect.
We are speaking here about this BioClean liquid, but it is not still so actual because these slides were done sometime before, and we are now using for the cleaning the enzymatic cleaners. It is maybe some similar base like by the washing powders, but they have a deep penetration and can also slowly go inside and take away, for example, the fat spots or other colors, and we can, like tea, coffee, red wine, we can remove, and it is very ecological. Yes, it is also, we don't transfer the water, we transfer the concentrates. Therefore, it is the dilution is 1 to 20, 1 to 30 is different, and you can save also the packaging for the use. But basically, I can tell this is information that we have such products. Yes, because usually this function, these services make some specialized company like mine, which see the problem and solve the problem with the special cleaning. And also because we never only clean, we also clean and coat in the same time after because you can lightly protect the surface. I propose for the architects, building companies, it's very important to make it by the finishing the buildings, because if you make it later, the cost will be much more higher, and therefore you can precaution some problems with some dirty, with some dangerous, because if you have salts, for example, in the concrete, the salts also make the bigger volume with the water plus 10%. Doesn't matter if you are living in the northern country with the freeze, or you are in Africa in the equatorial Africa, where is only there are rains and humidity. If there is salt make the problems. It doesn't matter if it is Dubai. They have rain only 3 or 4 times per year, but I have seen the destroyed building after 10-15 years because the water level is very high, and the capillary movement of the water molecules make contact with the salts, and it degradable also the concrete. Therefore, also we can continue. We will have some special.
Maybe
you can see.
Yes, maybe Dusan, sorry to interrupt you. I hear we have some background noise. I would just like to encourage everybody on the call, if you have some background noise around you, if it's not you, Dusan, please put yourself on mute so we have a clean background. Otherwise, it's very difficult then to hear this the speaker. That would be great. And also, one more thing, you mentioned a very interesting element about BioClean liquid. So if I understood that right, this is more for, it's really like a textile coating.
It is useful everywhere because it is not acid. It is, but it is basic. But you need to mix it with the water, because if you have a pH 13, that it is also dangerous. Yes, then you need to dilute with the water. Yes, it was written 1 to 20, 1 to 30. It is very good for the transportation, but because don't to transport the diluted products, it is very good if you can transport the concentrate, and you will prepare so much cleaning dilution. How many you need? We can continue. This is only the effect, how it works. The anti-static surface on the stone or the concrete. It is not my picture, but it works so. Yes, the water drops are making the effect of the lotus flower. Yes, and it is very, very well known. We can continue because of the
so
time.
And you mentioned also over here in the operations that it keeps basically the structure of the surface, or the element, the building
not
element.
Not structure. It change the property, surface property. Yes, if there is no changing of the magnetism, that therefore the surface take to him, it is binding together. Yes, and if you have anti-static surface, it is outputting. Yes, therefore it is so like this drops onto the water. Yes.
So
and also from the second slide, we have seen that we create the protection grid 3 × 3 nanometers. That no elements can go through. Only one element, olive oil. Olive oil is going through. It is very special. I don't know why, but it works so. Yes.
Okay.
But
and
from the millions of millions various problems, only the olive oil goes through, but not for all the coatings, but for especially for this, because it is also used for the coating of the stone tops in the kitchen. And we have now very special not breathable coatings, because for the stones is not to be breathable. Yes, because if there is some humidity inside the surface, inside the for example concrete blocks, and you use the not breathable coating, that the water will make problems inside. Yes, and also we can come to the concrete cancer if the humidity stays or accumulate in the concrete and iron constructions, and it brings to too much problems for the building constructions, such bridges or also the walls. It doesn't matter. Please continue.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. So we see also 20 years durability of the surface. That is also quite.
It is. I think it is minimum because there is no abrasive effect. Yes, the coating has deep penetration. It depends on the density, but for example, stone or concrete, there is up to 5 to 7 millimeter deep inside. Also by the glass, we have up to 2 millimeter. Our nanoparticles goes inside the glass up to 2 millimeters deep to this glass. Also, the glass has the pores, and also metal has a pores, but it has some different properties, but they have also the pores. By the stone, it is very, we can tell it's much more porous, and other surfaces like concrete is also porous, but the glass is very strong against the humidity, but it is, yes. We also, therefore, can tell we have also for the glass and ceramics, and also we can protect the surface around 10 years. This is also very important coating for the building, because if we use now is very modern in the big cities, too much glass or complete glass facades in the aluminum frames, but it has a problem with the overheating inside the buildings, and therefore the buildings are using the air condition to make the atmosphere useful for the humans living inside. When we take the Dubai, I have seen the video from Burj Khalifa when it was built years ago, and they first glass which they used inside some sample tube, it was 99 degrees Celsius, that it was not for living. Afterwards, they used and developed quite new, maybe the most expensive glass in the world. And this reduced the temperature to 63 degrees. That means you need to push 40 degree cold to the buildings day and night to live inside. Yes, Dubai is very popular, but it is energy, and we can reduce with our coating some temperature. I think we can reduce around 15 degrees Celsius. When we take it to the kilowatts, it is a lot of energy. And also, if we have a classical power station or atom power station, everything makes some much more worse damages on the ecosystem. And I think it is one of the steps how we can to step to the clean energy, green energy, or be much more greener. Please, next one.
Yes, certainly. Maybe Dusan, one thing that I would like to add over here, and please, Tada Lisika, if you would have any questions, any comments, please don't be shy, jump into the discussion and also ask your questions. One point for me is, I mean, it's a huge element that you refer to now in terms of overheating of buildings. And also maybe a question already now. Is this product or the sealing that you apply for glass and ceramics, is it also applicable for eventually concrete or other elements used for building?
No, every we have some lines. It was the stone and wood. Wood is also together with the stone. We can also partly some ceramic tiles, but for the glass and ceramics we have this special coating. Our coatings is UV resistant, water resistant. Yes, that means it is anti-adhesive and depends on, for example, for the glass, it's not the breathable coating. It is very clear, and also we have coatings for the stone, wood, glass, metal. Yes, special coatings for the metal become there, and therefore you cannot win one. You cannot with one coating make everything. Yes, but therefore we are the specialists, and we have some special lines for specific problems, because you don't know, never you know what you need to solve, which problem. Just before this meeting, I have a call from the bus station in Bratislava, and they need some repair of the stone, although it is quite new building. It was opened half year ago. Yes, but there are some problems after the building's construction. Yes, and we can also put there the anti-slip coating, which brings much more safety for the walking people in the station. Yes. Please, another
wonderful element. Yeah, Tadalina,
yes?
Yeah,
sorry.
please go ahead.
Sorry,
Go first. Go first.
Okay, thank you. I have a question. When it comes to granite, because we have the smooth granite and the one that's just rough. Most of the time, the rough one is used like for outside areas, but there's a smooth one as well. So for the smooth granite, do we treat it as a ceramic, or we still treat it as stone? Because
no, it is how I explained before. For the stone, doesn't matter if it's marble, granite. You need to use the specific coating for this, because also the binding ability is others, like by the glass. Yes, therefore, or the mechanism of the binding is other. Therefore, you cannot use the glass coating on the stone because it will be not binded. Yes, and therefore we use for this one. Also, there are some other possibilities. If you want to have only if you have matte brushed stone, yes, you want to have not high polished, yes, we use so-called clean pure coating, yes, and if you want to have some much more some so-called water effect, yes, that is shiny, it will be not shiny because you need to polish the stone. But if you want to have it not the dry effect, but
like a wet surface,
wet surface, we have some additional coatings to this, and you can have it. It is some advantage also if you have some problematic stone and you want to eliminate some problems, optical problems on the stone, not the physical problems, but optical problems, and make it much more nicer. You can use so-called adhesives that are for this wet effect. Yes, please continue.
May I have?
We will go. Yes.
May I have one more question? It's just super interesting. The coatings, just by definition, you know, it's from the technology that you use using this nanoparticles, and now seeing it's 100% biodegradable. Maybe you can tell us more about, you know, of course, according to how much you can tell about what does the product consist of, and what does it mean it's 100% biodegradable?
I tell you first, the nanoparticles are from the silicon. It is neutral, it reacts with nothing, with the acid, with nothing. Yes, and also in the article we have read that the nanoparticles cannot accumulate in the body, human body, but it can go through. Yes, in opposite with the nanotubes like asbestos and others. Yes. On the other side, we need to tell that nanoparticles we need to transport in some media, and it has the synthetics diluter. They are, we can tell, also life endangering, but it is only during the application. Yes, because they kept the diluter, the synthetic diluters keep the nanoparticles together. Yes, we don't see it. It is only 3 times bigger than the molecule. Yes, but it is transport material, and by the opening the bottle, by the after application in the thin layer, it evaporates to the air, and it is only depends on the applicator that he use some protection mask or oxygen mask. It depends if the space is closed, like in a bathroom, or it is open space, like the terrace in front of the house. Yes, it's different. My experiences are so that we use it in the closed closed space, and it is also good by the application, good to ventilate the building, but not too cold, because also the temperature is very important for the application. It can be applicable from 5 degrees Celsius up to 35. Because therefore I propose, for example, for the heat countries like Middle East, Dubai, Saudi Arabia, I have some of personal experiences. I was using the coatings in the June, July, or September. It is very hot, and the temperature of the surface is over 50. Yes, therefore the diluter evaporates very quickly and take away also the nanoparticles. Then the protection effect is very small, or no, or zero. Therefore, I propose to work in this country, maybe also Africa, in our winter time, from the northern part, from November until March, for example. If you are not using the in interior, where you can regulate the temperature of the application, yes. But if you want to make some construction like bridges, roads, or facades, I propose to apply it in the night also. I have seen also the video from the concrete application in Dubai, and they have called also the concrete, because the pump which was pumping the concrete through the tubes, it was very high. Therefore, they were mostly worked in the night, and with lower temperatures, because there is also a big difference between day and night. Yes, but it is, everything is possible. Okay, but you need to understand the technology and behavior of the coatings. Yes, this is very important. And outside, you will have only the problems. Yes.
Super. Okay. So, I mean, it's also very interesting to hear, first of all, the experiences with your clients, that, previous projects, but also, I mean, the exchange of information that is available in the industry, apparently. So when talking about being 100% biodegradable, we have duration or durability of the coating of around 20 years. So what does happen after maybe, let's say 15 years, whatever? It's still a long time, which is great. What does happen? Does it,
the toxic was evaporate in the beginning. Yes.
Yes.
The toxic was evaporating in the beginning, and stays only the silicone particles. Yes.
Okay.
And it is only crystals, small crystals.
Okay.
Yes.
Good. And
it is together. It is together with the concrete. Nobody can tell if the duration will be longer, but on the on a vertical construction, you have no problems because there is no abrasion, except the desert parts. Yes, we can
Sorry.
here also the
Yes.
by the this metal perma is very interesting and very important coating. I use it for more purposes, also by the stone, but only for the kitchen topics, because it needs very strong. Yes, it's very strong coating,
Apologies.
and it works.
We are losing you.
20 years plus. Yes. It is also for the industry. You see it. I'm here.
Can we hear? Okay, do you hear? Yes, we hear you now. Good. I was just wondering, Tadalisika, I mean, do you see the presentation well, or anybody else that would like to share feedback?
I'm able to see the presentation. It's open.
It's open, so you see it. Great, great. Because I lost the sound and okay, good. So
we can go much quicker.
Okay. Shall we go to the next part?
Next. I will tell you on it next. Yes, and click another one, because there is a lot of this. I want also to the samples then show to the people. Still the same.
Oh, maybe. Just a second. And just let me know if you. Do you see my presentation?
Yes. This last one. Go. Also, this look back. This one. Yes. No. This textile. Second one. This one. Stop.
Okay.
You can see this is the roasted metal, so-called corten, and half was coated and half was non-coated. We have very finely sprayed with a small nozzle and 0.3 millimeters only the fork of this metal perma, and after the drying, usually with the so-called curing. The curing is very important for the coatings, especially for the metal perma, because if it's fresh, there will be some problems if you put very quickly the water or some dirty. The curing time is 7 days, yes, but I think third, fourth day is maybe good, but better. With my experiences, I propose 7 days and then use. You see the changing of the properties. Where is the water drops on the upper side, and the bottom side there is the adhesive effect, and this is what can save the metal and painting from the corrosion. Yes, this is also very good coating for the industry. And we have 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago, done the storage silo for the glue, and it was coated with this coating to be anti-adhesive for the glue, because the cleaning problem made the problem. The glue was hardened. It was dried and hardened and was on the walls, and it was once a year it should be putting down. And this coating has reduced the keeping the hard glue on the walls of the storage silo. It is the same. It can be used on the tankers by the rope or by the crude oil, yes, everywhere where you need to reduce the time of cleaning process, and there are some production that you have the cleaning process takes 30% of the work, that it costs a lot of money, and we can reduce with this special coating uh, the everywhere by every coating we can reduce the cycles of the cleaning, and the duration is very important, and therefore is difference that I need only the cleaning, it is enough, yes, the first line, but during the time you will have a problem. The dirty comes again, and from atmosphere, from the transportation and others, and you will have problem. And if you let it longer, then you have a stronger problem. Okay, continue. Next. This is a nice example. How can you refurbish your car? Because it is not painting, it is only the coating, but the dark black keeps long time. In a compare with this on market very popular wax coating on the cars, it has much more longer duration, and also make the painting harder, and it is much more protected against the stone abrasion by the moving on the roads, yes. And also the because the left side, and it was car of my chief of the director of the Biocoating Technology, and he in the X make this painting coating, and you see difference, yes. And also it is anti-adhesive against the insects. It is very easy to clean, yes, and keep it shiny, keep self-cleaning by the rain, yes. This is very important. Next, please. These are only not too much to explaining. These are the additives for the fuel, saving at least 12% up to 20%. We can save by the vessels in average 10% of how it is
consumption of the petrol that you would need.
Yes. And also you see the reduction of emission of harmful gases means 25.5 carbon monoxide, carbon NOx 58%, and 5.9 carbon dioxide. Yes, what can we tell now? And it is from the standard oil, diesel, and can be used also, I think, by the gas engines. Next.
So
go
this is the
next
contact exactly for
this. Go next. Next. We come to this. This is important. Yes. Or let me try to next one. I don't know which one is. Okay, back. Very simply, yes, you have the influence of water make the problem with the staining, frost damage, make bigger volume, and also the salting, blooming, because the water by the stone, it is so-called flowering, yes, because the salts are inside in the middle of the stone, yes, but with the contact with the water, it blows up, yes, therefore it's so-called blooming or flowering of the problems, yes. It is very, for example, the Chinese granite is very expensive, very many people like it, but problem is that they contains a lot of other salts, and if you have also not the good humidity of the the concrete where you lay the stone tiles. Yes, there can be problems. Yes. Next one. This is the so-called concrete cancer. I will read it. When water begins to penetrate the concrete, which can happen over time, the concrete will begin to crack and the water will penetrate inside, causing it to split. The rebar or steel in the concrete, and if the water will contact the construction, yes, it is end of construction. I tell very popular sample, the bridge over the Genova Yano in Italy. The bridge was built 1963. Also, the transportation density was very rising during the times, and the dynamic damages, and also it was open the pores. Yes, then the water can go inside, and therefore if it would be protected, for example, with our coating, it should not happen so early. It's my opinion. Yes, and also according to the United Nations, the concrete cancer is one of the biggest problem of the human population, because the buildings cannot live longer. Yes, it has only the special time. Next one. This is very nice sample. It is not my job. It is job my colleague in Germany, but it is also this stone is Chinese granite. Yes, on the left side we have pre-coated slabs all over all sides. Yes, from the bottom, from the sides, and from up. And the right one is not pre-coated. Yes, it takes the humidity from the ground, but it is not only the pure humidity. It's so-called crystal water. It has no back movement. Yes, it is not the question of drying. It keeps this optic forever. Yes, that's the problem. By the humid, I have seen it also in Dubai on the new rigs, the premium on the JBR. It was by the exterior pool. Also, they used some, I don't know, travertine or some other stone or sandstone, but the humidity from the bottom makes the problem in optic. And they were very unhappy from this. This is maybe much more for the people who make the laying of the stone. Yes, because they need to be prepared before the finishing. Yes.
Okay. May I have a question, Dusan, to this one? Can you, so you have such a surface, I mean, this is really I would see it more, because the moisture inside the stone will not cause it to crack it, or will it come at some point of time and it will come eventually earlier? Is it also possible?
What? How do you mean?
That if we continue this condition that the stone is always moistured, the moisture is stuck in the stone, it's always inside, it will crack it, it will break it at some point.
This not this, but you know, if you build your own house and make some terrace, and you look from the beginning on such dirty, yes. Therefore, I mean, it's like it is the same like when you buy the new shoes and you buy special cleaning or waxing products for your special shoes. Yes, it's the same. Or absolutely. For the cars. Yes, it is optical. But,
yes.
And but you cannot use it in some representative space, for example.
Yes, definitely.
Also, or when we take also the municipality, yes, they make some squares, yes, and the square should be also nice. I have seen, for example, in Slovakia, in Levoča, After some time, they used maybe Chinese granite. It was totally dirty, like this, like this. It was the problem. Yes, mostly if you put it to the raw ground, not to the concrete. If you used it laid on the concrete, it is better. But the humidity is sucking. Yes, in the capillaries. Yes, and it flows up. Yes, and one time it comes. Yes, it is only the question of the time. Yes, but if you closed it, therefore from all sides, because if you protect from the upper side, but from bottom when the blows the water, is the problem. You will see it. But this is a special case. It is not humidity. It is the so-called crystal water. Yes, and it has no space, big space.
And can you apply such a coating on this surface or other surfaces? You mentioned something in the beginning. It's good to do it before it's put into use. Can you do it also after? Like, you know?
No, this one not, because you need to put it away, and you have only one chance, but before the laying.
Before the laying, okay.
Before the laying.
Good.
The glass, okay, you can make the installation of the glass, and after. Yes, it is. I propose it on the finished facade. Yes, not to play with one window on the ground, but finish and then come group of technicians and make the coating. Next one. Only simple.
Because we have also 10 minutes left. I would.
Next, please.
We continue. Maybe we can also, the presentation will be shared after the call.
This is very important.
Okay.
This is very important slide, because you see the influence. You see the influence of UV rays from the rain, and also the overheating. Yes, this one. Yes, stop. Yeah. Therefore, if it is coated, the rays go out of the building and cannot overheating through all the profile of the walls. Yes, and if it doesn't matter. It can be the glass. Yeah? Glass is in comparing with the wall. It is very thin. Yes, but it overheats the air in the rooms. For example, I have measured in Dubai in one hotel 43 degree on the surface, but it was not the highlight. It was around 9:30 a.m. Yes. And it is the direct shining of the sun that the temperature goes up to 50, for example, on the surface. And I switch off the air condition, and it was 33 degrees, although outside was 28 degrees.
Okay.
But because it is not very important to make some notice that some special material has a special accumulation. Stone, concrete has 63 degrees, although the temperature in outside is not so high, but it accumulates the temperature. The same is the metal. Metal accumulate the temperature up to 72 degrees. Yes, and we cannot do nothing else, only to make some coating. Then I propose, for example, for Burj Khalifa, clean and coat the glass, and also the construction, metal construction, to maximize to reducing of the UV rays. It will be never 100%. It will be never 100%, but we are thankful for every 1 degree Celsius.
I mean, it's a big. Yes, definitely. Dusan, maybe to your point, I mean, it's a very interesting thing that you mentioned, because now we know cities, industrial, urbanization, more people living in cities, more buildings. You have the challenge with concrete cancer. And we have now these coatings. These coatings have an amazing properties, amazing benefits. Now, what we also do, because it's the nature of what Frogeex is doing, bringing all the ideas and solutions on the market that help us find the right mix for each location, each ecosystem, each setting. So what I think of when I look at this slide especially is, and I like to hear your point because I see it's also protection against algae and fungi. Is it possible, maybe just say the question or state the question, is it possible to combine it? For example, you have a building that you like Burj Khalifa. Let's take Burj Khalifa or any other high building with many stores. So we have a 20-store building. You would treat the surface, the glass surface, where you already reduce in terms of overheating, energy usage, basically on air conditioning, etc. But would it be possible to combine it with green elements like green walls, or potentially, or would there be any conflict like from the material, or would this work out? Do you have any experience on this potentially? I hope we did not lose the signal. Hello, maybe I can quickly cross-check. So just please drop me in the chat whether you are still okay with the sound, because I think we lost Dusan from the connection. Hello, Tadalisika? Are you with us?
Yes.
Can you hear us? Hello, are you with us still? Do you see the presentation well?
Yes, I am. Well, I can see it clearly.
Okay, I mean, I think we lost Dusan for the moment. We have also maybe a little bit of time to just touch base. I'm just wondering what brought you here to the call today.
Okay, so I'm a civil engineer. I deal with construction, and we're currently constructing the new international conference center that will house the AU. So when I saw the meeting about biocoating, I had to jump in. I wanted to see how it, yeah.
Super cool. And so how much, what do you think about it right now? I mean, you are in the discussion for the whole talk. What do you think? I mean, do you have some takeaways or some inspirations potentially on application, or also maybe share your experience, what you experience now with the project?
I'm actually quite fascinated because I understood that there was an effect of having glass windows, but I didn't realize how big of that effect is in terms of like the energy consumption and the temperatures on the inside of a building. I say that because we've added, like literally we have curtain walls surrounding almost all the sides of the wall. So it's a question of how much electricity then are we going to use in the cooling systems, and is it applicable to use the glass coating to actually help make it easier to clean, reduce the consumption of energy, and will it be able to work in an African climate, because we're still in the savanna climate, so the temperatures usually tend to be hotter than the European countries. So all of that.
So that is wonderful. And can you please, because I lost the signal in that second. I think that the connection is not super good today. But anyhow, which country are you based?
Zambia.
Zambia, that is wonderful. So you know what? Just to quickly rephrase what Dusan was saying. Certainly, he was saying it's applicable also for African climate, so hot countries. I know because we work with Dusan for quite some time already now, and he's working a lot in Middle East, So the biocoatings are being a lot applicable in the Middle East region. So if that would be okay for you, I would just connect you two.
Okay. Sure.
Yes, I would introduce you just to maybe if you have some other questions regarding your current project that you have and you would like to maybe get in contact or see where you can maybe look for the options that they have within the biocoatings. Happy to connect, so you are you can exchange on that one.
All right, thank you.
That would be wonderful. And is there any particular problem or challenge that you see with the projects that you are working on in the basically zone? When I talk about the like geographical zone and the conditions.
Yes.
Hello, Dusan. Welcome back. Welcome back. We are here and we have some interesting points for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
No problem. So Tadalisika,
excuse me.
Not a problem. Not a problem. Yeah, the signal is not super good. We are losing you, Dusan, from time to time. Good. So Tadalisika.
Connection is now.
Sorry, it's a little bit a delay in the audio, so
Yep.
May I continue?
Yes, just one more second.
You have question.
Exactly. We quickly discussed with Tadalisika here. She's a civil engineer from Zambia, working on a project, planning a multi functional building, as far as I understood. And please, Tadalisika, correct me. And we were just wondering, how suitable are your solutions for their ecosystem and zone? But Tadalisika, what are the biggest challenges that you see in buildings in your zone, in the geographical area? Also looking at climate change, more extreme weather, more heat waves. What is the biggest concern that you have in terms of building?
I think it's gonna be probably insulation or the type of coating we use, because a number of buildings were not designed with like the current climate. So due to climate change, there's been a number of issues. So you'd find our temperatures tend to be higher now. So you'd find we're now having to like push our AC machines to the max just to be able to cool down rooms. So that's like one of the biggest challenges, the heat consumption in regards to the insulation that we've been using on the buildings.
May I ask you, Darisika?
Yes.
You mean the agglomeration, the big cities also, or the similar houses in the bush or small village? Because if we are speaking, if we are speaking about the agglomeration, a city.
Oh yeah.
City? Do you mean city?
Yes. Yes, sir. I am based in Lusaka, so the capital city of Zambia.
Yes.
So most of the infrastructure I've worked on has been like government buildings. So that's the challenge that we've had on a number of government buildings.
I can see there practically all our coatings are useful there. Do you hear me? Hello.
Yes, I can hear you.
There are some more effects, not only like from this slide, but also the influence from the atmosphere when we take the exhausts from the engines, and it is mixed with dust and others, and it has also the corrosive influence on the building construction. Yes, and we need much more as is possible to reduce the temperatures. We have another one possibility to coat the asphalt roads, for example. We reduce the exterior temperature because the asphalt will be not overheated. I have experiences. I have experience from my country. We have not so much high temperatures, but during the June, July, there we can have 40 degrees. But how I thought before that some surfaces have some special accumulative ability that concrete around 63 degrees every time. If it is 30, 40 degrees, but it can accumulate up to, if it's shiny, not cloudy, but if it's shiny and the direct UV radiation will flow to the surface, the stone could be 63 degree, and from the 63 degree it is overheated the air. Yes, and and if we reduce, for example, the road overheating, I cannot tell how much, but it is so that if I have coated surface in my country, in Slovakia, the water was all over on the surface because the coating don't allow to overheat the tiles, you know, and because the water drops are not evaporating from direct UV radiation, they are overheated or evaporate after the overheated surface. Yes, and therefore it means it should be minimum, I think, 15 or 20 degree Celsius difference between usual and this coated area. Yes, that it is one of the basic what I want to use also in the Middle East, the coating of the asphalt and inclusive coating of the building facades, that you see that the UV rays go out the building, and therefore the building will not be overheated. Yes, and the road behind the building will not overheat it. Then we can reduce the. Please, next one. I think there will be there. Have there. Oh, go down. It is only. We come back to this slide, but go down. Down, down. No, stay here. Back. This one.
The heat islands.
It is the thermocamera temperatures of the houses. Yes, and also it's very important to have some trees in the streets, not only the pure concrete. Yes, and metal, and you need some special, because it is also one of the possibility how to eliminate the overheating in the space. Yes, the wooden leaves. Yes, then if you have some algae around the roads, it is better than this direct shining. Yes, that therefore it's so. And also this is also the situation when was some direct shining. Yes, the red color and the dark red color means it is very, very overheated. Yes, and it has influence in the building. Yes, and if the glasses in the windows are not coated, that also it will be much more pushing the temperature inside the building. Yes, and this is one of the way. How I told before, we cannot eliminate 100%, but I think 15 degrees is relative good. Every degree is good. We can come back a little bit. I will stop the.
I would just have one question and one point. Thanks a lot to everybody. We are slightly over time. We're 6 minutes over the planned or scheduled timing. So I would, Dusan, like to ask you to wrap up, potentially have 1 to 2 questions so we can close the call. But I have another suggestion. I would like to eventually propose also a follow-up call, and Dusan, maybe we can figure out, what topics we would particularly talk about, because it's a big topic, many applications.
Yes.
So we can follow up on that one. Tadalisika, is there any particular area that you would like to see, or where you would like to deep dive on based on the discussions that we have today? Also welcome other participants from the call.
I'm not sure, because all of the information you've touched here is amazing. So I'm actually not sure. Any you choose will be fine. I'm just interested in learning more about how biocoating can, how they're applied and how they can work in an urban setting and rural setting. So anything is fine.
I love that. Thank you very much for your input. And one question that, Dusan, if you could answer me before we, take the last one and we go, into the lunch break, whatever your timing is locally, would
Yes.
be, and you already indicated it in this image on this part, which is you have a combination of solutions where you can work against overheating of buildings, of urban areas, or rural areas.
Please, one more slide
Okay.
back. Yes, I will, because you have question about algae.
Yeah,
stop.
yeah.
Oh, but this is Venezia. Go down, down, down. Stop here. This is the Ahmadiyya school in Deira. It's old Dubai. Yes, and it was restored in 2000, year 2000. And this is the influence of the humidity and salts, you see. And this picture was taken 2015 when I was first time in Dubai. And it should be after 15 years again refurbished, because we have also the product which could make stronger the concrete. You know, this is very important.
Mhm. So basically, also to go a little bit back now to the combination regarding overheating, and you mentioned yourself as well that you have or there is a combination basically where you have trees, where you have green elements, so there is no conflict with, I don't know. I mean, we know now it's biodegradable. It only leaves particles that are okay for the human body for the cycle. It is important only there is a chemical substance that is basically evaporated during application, then it's fine.
Excuse me, I want to explain that this metal permacoating can be used also in the tanks for the milk tanks, transportation of the milks, of the red wine, yes, that it has no influence on the food, yes. That's the, after the curing. If you keep the curing time, you can use this. And in the Netherlands, they used it in the bakeries, because the coating is, the flash point is around 420 degrees Celsius, and you bake up to 25 degrees. That, for example, if you can coat the forms for the bread and others, and you don't have problem with carbonization of the muka, flour. Yes, you don't have problem with this. Yes, and you can easy clean. Yes, and therefore a lot of and everything. And to come back, I want last one also show, because this is still question back. Stop. Next one. Yes, this one. This is this bottom picture was taken in front of the building of the company Bionic in Netherlands. This area, the light area, was cleaned with high pressure and coated. The picture was taken after 3 years when I was visiting. It is my personal video picture. Yes, that means, and if you know Netherlands, there is the algae are everywhere, because high level of water, humidity, but it works long term. This is from St. Vitus Cathedral in Prague. It is only for as a sample what makes the algae. Also, the algae make destruction of the concrete slowly, step by step, but it is so. It is so that it is still only the coating for the stone, the same BC10. It is multifunctional for some common materials.
Okay. So I mean,
don't have 100. I don't have 100. I have for this, and it is the effects of the effects of the coatings are various. Yes, and it is not only one one-man show. Yes, it is for more purposes. Yes. Together, in the same time.
Wonderful.
You don't need to change. Stone is stone. Yes, it is antivirus, antibacterial, water resistant, UV resistant, salt resistant. It is very important. If you, for example, in the winter country, and you salt the roads, yes, with the salt, and salt is very aggressive. I have seen interior floor from the Chinese marble after 5 years, it was totally destroyed with the salt. The salt is very aggressive. It is not coated. Yes.
So super session today, very informative on the broad application of the efficiencies that can be achieved in this. So let's deep dive on a follow-up session. Tatalisika, would you have any last question, any last point to Dusan or anybody else on the call? Any other questions?
I have one last question. There's I may have mispronounced the term. There's biofusion. It's a type of protection layer in which the paint is fused onto the metal to ensure that it's able to withstand salt water and the effect salt has in terms of eroding it and causing rust. Can the biocoating be used after biofusion, or it's just before? At what stage can you use the biocoat?
If you want to have it painted, you can paint it, and after you can coat it. Have you seen the car?
Yeah.
When you see the car, the half car was recoated on the right half, and has another effect like not coated. Yes, that it is transparent. It don't change the color. It don't change the color. It is only dry or wet. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, but you can use it, and it is water resistant, UV resistant, anti-abrasive, make harder, stronger the painting. Also, also if you have buy a new car and you make the coating on the existing painting, the effects will be much more better and harder and longer. Yes. For example, this is also a big job. For example, in Dubai, they pay 2,500 euro for one car coating. The big sheikhs, yes. They pay this money because if you drive through the desert, you are full of the dust, and it is then the UV ray influence, and therefore the color of the painting is grau, yeah, like you see on the left side. Yes, it is influence. It is influence of the sun, and also you can coat the glass, and you can also reduce the overheating of the car in your country too. I think you have very high temperatures, and it could be also very interesting. Yes.
Yeah, I think in general, you have this in Europe. The same problem is in Europe or wherever. If you just have hot weather, you know, sun shining, direct sunshine.
The metal accumulate the temperature up to 72 degrees. Doesn't matter if it's outside temperature 30, 40, 50 degrees. It accumulates up to 72. Stone up to 63, plus minus. I have the same measured in Dubai, in Bratislava. The same.
Okay. So, I mean, I think that was just a wonderful conclusion, basically, in terms of, you know, through what all areas are possibilities to use this type of measure.
I need to make some shorter
presentation
slides because this is too, or take bigger time for the presentation.
Exactly.
It takes 40 minutes, but if you have some other questions and speech, because I have a lot of ideas, I'm not reading the slides, you know. Back to this one, to the Venice. This is Louvre. This is Louvre. Algae. This is the influence of the water, salting. Yes. We can also help the building inside for the storage. because the salt make destruction also. Humidity and salt, it is catastrophe for the buildings.
For the building, exactly. So let's. I would suggest then to, because we are slightly over time, I would suggest just to thank you so much to first of all, Dusan, to you for being here today with us, sharing more about how biocoating works, what are the elements, what are the potential applications, and what are the efficiencies that can be achieved over here. It was really a great pleasure having you over here. First of all, thank you to Tadalisika and also the other participants of the call, our listeners and viewers, that will have a chance to also see the full episodes, see the full talk on our Frogeex YouTube channel and across the social media channels that we have.
Okay.
And I would suggest to follow up in a separate session, maybe splitting the parts so we can go more into the details and really deep dive on the elements.
May I last words?
Definitely, Dusan.
If it's only the question of meeting, yes, to some brainstorming, we can speak about all industries, about the private houses, about the building in the cities, about the cars, about the factories. Everywhere are problems. Yes, overheating, corrosion, humidity, short-term duration of some application. Yes, I have some. My opinion is that I have one of the best coatings in the world from the duration. Yes, by the stone, no words. It's incredible. It still works. I have some buildings 10 years, and in Vienna there are 40 years. And the vertical facades are very nice because also it reduces the oxidation of from the gas from the engines. Yes, every city has problem with the dark with the gray buildings because the oxidation of the buildings materials are make the corrosion of the metal construction and also make the gray of the and losing the fresh color of the buildings. Yes. And you receive the long-term duration because I think the minimum the building should be good one generation that we grow our children. Yes, minimum it's 20 years. Minimum.
I mean, that is truly, I mean, when we talk about in such matters, I mean, 20 years is really, I mean, there you're right. And that's also a little bit a problem in terms of sustainability. So, how long does a building stay in the shape that you can live in it? It's well maintained. So this is a huge point that you make, Dusan.
Jana, if I can tell. The problem is by the big corporation, they're producing the building materials. They want to build, produce, buy. But you need some effect. Yes. That's the problem. Yes, because I was questioning the one company in Austria. They were produced for the ventilated facades on the construction. Fundermax, I think. It is from the wooden powder and have special effects, but they give guarantee only 7 years for the color and 7 years for the color for the one facade. I tell one generation should grow up 20 30 years. It's good because you can saving money and also don't need to repaint, for example. Other situation, the houses on the seashore, where is the wind blowing from sea to the land, and take away also the sea salt water. you know, and the water make the corrosion of the buildings, of the paintings, of the houses on the seashore. Not only just the seashore, it goes through to the land. Yes, 20, 50 kilometers, I don't know. Where you live, for example, when we take some Italy, yes, or also some of every country, which influence of the sea is very strong.
So it's a great, yeah. Sorry, please finish.
It is only simply Riviera, Atlantic seashore of the France. Doesn't matter. They have problems with the houses. They need to come very often to reconstruction if you want to have the building in a good stand. Yes, that's all.
So yeah, I mean, as mentioned before, I mean, the application is very, very broad and across many areas. So again, thank you so much, Dusan, for sharing for being here with us, for your time and sharing a little bit more information. And we're gonna follow up on that in a separate session as well, on what coatings can do and how can they help us also as an element to adapt to the climate changed conditions, which is connected to weather extremes, water, heat, and of course energy consumption, a big topic. So thank you so much again for your time. Thank you to everybody for joining us today in the call.
Okay, I thank you for your attention.
It was a great pleasure having you.
Bye-bye. See you
later. Bye-bye. Have a great rest of the day. And I hope to see you in the next Frogeex Green Tech Talk. And yeah, please follow us, like, comment, share, whatever you consider relevant on the topic. And we're going to also share some updates on social media so also other people can access the content that we'll share today.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Have a great rest of the day. Bye-bye. Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.